Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, the final hour kicking off right now on this April Fools. Happy April Fools, everybody, to those of you who celebrate this holiday. Coming up here a little bit, we'll get back to some more baseball talk. Brewers, about 3.5 hours from now, a little over 3.5 hours from now. First pitch about 12:40 today. The Miz Kid getting his second start of the season. So you can tune in on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. To listen to that game before a little getaway. Then the Brewers will hit the road and continue their American League tour where they take on the Kansas City Royals on Friday. So also final call for your answers. And again, a big thanks to Paul, because on Wednesdays we're going to be giving away some sweet cards here. So Twins fans, you'll like this. We've got a Twins fan sitting across from me here. Mm-hmm. A 1991 Score Kirby Puckett, PSA graded 9.
What?
If you want to take a look at it.
What?
So we are, excuse me, one more hour voice. Come on. Text me your answers to this trivia question. We know who the all-time leader is in Twins history for home runs. Harmon Killebrew. Who is second? There is a little bit of a gap between the two.
Not a surprise.
Final call that we're going to give away this card. A few of you have texted in the correct answer. A few of you have texted the incorrect answer. But text it on in, and whoever is correct in that pool will get you that card. So again, big thanks to Paul for donating that. Do you have an idea who it is?
I have an idea. Of course, I'm not going to say because give it away right now.
Right.
But I have a couple possibilities.
Right. Well, I'll ask you who you think it is before we announce who the winner is.
Okay.
So every Wednesday we do a little inside the hobby and such. And since it is April Fools, and kind of our theme for today has been, who have you been fooled by in the sports world, whether it was a player you thought was going to be really good or really bad and ended up being the opposite, or a trade or a draft pick that you were pumped about, or a team that you were really excited about and maybe did do that great and such. I was doing some research last night on some, since we got cards and such, and this was from Sports Illustrated a few months ago. 5 superstar rookie cards that have lost the most value since 2020.
Ooh, yeah. Interesting one from the Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, number 1. Remember some guy named Zion Williamson?
I was going to say, I'll bet it's Zion or that one other guy that was like blowing up in preseason.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this was a 2019 Zion Williamson Prism Base rookie card, PSA 10. Then during the peak was $700 or more. Now, cool $30 to $50. So for all of you who maybe spent money on that.
Sorry.
Mac Jones, remember that guy? Hey, maybe he makes a comeback if he gets a starting spot somewhere.
I wouldn't give up on that just yet.
Yeah, Mac Jones 2021 Prism Rookie Silver went for $600 plus after a strong rookie season. Now, a cool $40 to $70. So still not bad for a backup, I guess, at this point. But
Could
still,
be worse.
Yeah. Ja Morant.
Oh, boy.
2019 Optic Hollow Rookie. Then you're looking at $800 to $1,000. Now, $75 to $150. $150.
I was like,
yeah.
That really fell.
This one kind of surprised me. The next one, Justin Herbert. 2020 Prism Base Rookie was $600 plus at peak. Now you're looking between $35 to $60. So,
okay, so is that more the market was oversold at that?
Could be.
Not oversold, overvalued at that point?
Could be. It says here, still a great quarterback, but not winning games, and the hobby is impatient. Investors are reallocating to proven winners or flashier rookies. A great example that on-field stats don't always equate to off-field card market value. So
odd.
Fernando,
but I'll trust that they know what they're talking about. Obviously.
Yeah. Fernando Tatis Jr. 2019 Topps Chrome rookie. Then was about $250 to $300. Now about $30. Suspensions and a position switch have taken the shine off this once elite profile. The bat still plays, but the hype doesn't. Time heals all wounds, though, so continued play at high levels and a championship run could help his card value. So, those are some of them, and this was another piece, too, that I looked. How about baseball's 10 best error cards, since it's April Fool's. The 1990 Topps Frank Thomas rookie, with no name on the bottom. The Billy Ripken card that I cannot say what's on the bottom of the bat, but we all kind of know.
Yes, classic.
Yep. A 1989 score, Paul Gibson. The Paul Gibson card features an unfortunate image that made its way into the set. Doesn't have any offensive language, but just let's take a look at the player in the background and then kind of imagine what baseball players were probably adjusting.
Yeah.
In the background, if you don't know, not familiar with that card. So, 2006 Topps Alex Gordon. The major error with this one is that it's not supposed to exist at all. A new ruling made it so manufacturers could only make cards of players that were on a team's 25-man roster or had played in an MLB game the previous season. The number 2 overall pick in 2005, Gordon didn't qualify. He was originally included in the set before Topps made a last-second change to remove him, but not before cards had already been printed, packed, and shipped to stores. Some collectors were willing to pay thousands at the time for even raw copies, and high-level grade examples are still valuable today. So, interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
87 Donruss. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, keep going. No.
87 Donruss opening day Barry Bonds. Sometimes manufacturers spell names wrong or feature odd things in the background. Other times the picture is just completely wrong, and this is the case with Barry Bonds because it is not Barry Bonds. So it's actually Johnny Ray. So,
oh boy,
yeah. So those are just some of the error cards.
Yeah, there's
Fool, not April Fools. So, but I remember Jeremy Linsanity.
Oh gosh, yes.
And his cards were on eBay, just going crazy nuts.
Everything to do with being a Nick.
Yep.
Everything. If he's a Hornet, old Hornets, new Hornet, nowhere close. Mm-hmm. Or just about any team short of the Lakers.
Right. So, those are just a few examples.
I am trying to figure out who was that. Again, I think it was a Laker who was blowing up preseason basketball about 5 years ago, and that rookie card was exploding. And this was right at the peak of the latest card collecting boom, where we were all talking about from like around 2021 or so. I cannot figure out who that is, but I remember that was a thing for a little while. Like, oh my gosh, this card's so valuable. And then, like at the time, you're like, come on, it's preseason. Hold up. And I think it panned out. I think, but I can't remember who it was.
Paul, do you know who it might have been? Just Paul, who's donated these cards, and so would it have been Austin Reeves?
I'm seeing some of it that I saw Austin Reeves come up when I was doing some searching on that, which would, not to the level of like SGA or someone like that, but Austin Reeves turned out to be a pretty good player. So maybe it was, but I want to say it was someone else. Could be wrong.
Okay,
maybe he knows.
All right.
I could go through old Bill Simmons podcasts because that's where I heard it, but that's a lot of podcasts to troll through to find.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask because we getting a little bit more info on the City Connect, and you asked me my thoughts on the Brewers jerseys. Now we got like a hat leaked. I don't know if you saw that. It's such
the W. Yeah.
Yep. It's like would you call it a royal blue?
Kind of, yeah. From what I can tell, see, it's trick. For anyone who hasn't seen it, these are tricky because they were taken in like it's not like way off color, but it was like racks of clothes. So you're not going to get the best lighting. So that's why I'm holding off a little bit on assessing the colors on these. But yeah, it does like there's wheat and there's orange, and then it looks like a royal blue. The headline, it's royal blue cap, royal blue jersey, from what I can gather.
Yeah, What you asked me, but I like it, but apparently a lot of people don't.
Yeah, you seem to be the exception. Again, the worst thing you can do when you're trying to assess something is say, well, comments online.
Yeah.
But comments online, for the most part, from what I've seen, so of course that's also where am I going? What social media am I seeing, et cetera, et cetera. But also like the Chris Creamer sports logo fan forum. Not a lot of comments there. A lot of people have been focusing more on the Brave City Connect, which, dang, I gotta say, I love that one. The TBS tribute one. They don't like it. I'm seeing a lot of people ripping on the Wisco's part.
Interesting.
But either because they just think it's lame, or I'm seeing Wisconsinites going, yeah, no one around here says that, or like I hear it a couple times, but no one in Wisconsin says Wisco's, which surprises me a little bit because we have it here, both in the form of an establishment, in the form of on the radio. It's around. So it's not exactly like it's not like one of those terms that, like, I think San Fran is a good example of something that we think is fine. But like if you ask San Franciscans, they're like, no, no one says that around here. I don't think it's quite that erroneous. Plus, why would the Brewers screw up like that? They wouldn't.
Why? So what if it was switched from Wisco's to Scotty's?
I think that would be a little better. There was literally one person on the Chris Creamer board that said Scotty's would be better. Oddly, I think Scotty's might invite more national derision, whereas I think in the state, I think it would go over better. Two things on this. One, what's ultimately going to matter is, are fans going to end up buying this? They probably will. Of the unscientific sample here in our building, there's probably 3 big-time Brewers fans I know. You're one of them. Like, very outward, open, like, I love the Brewers. You liked it. One other person liked it to the point where they're like, I'm going to buy the jersey. And the third was like, yeah, I don't like it. Again, that's a sample of 3 people. But they might have focus grouped it enough to go, well, people will buy it. It says Wisco. It's not the worst
I think that's
thing.
probably why I like it, because it's more of a state thing instead of just, Milwaukee.
Dovetails with what Pat Murphy said about we're a state team. I mean, there's something to be said for that. It's going to be around for 3 years, and then they'll do something else. Unless this is like this, before I get to my second point, I think this might end up going the same way as the NBA, where you kind of run out of good ideas after a while, and you start bringing them back. We've seen that with like pretty much all the city jerseys in the NBA now are prior versions. They've stopped coming up with a new one every single year. Baseball is going to take longer because they've staggered the releases, and each one lasts 3 years. But I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe this comes back, well, I'm talking like 6-9 years down the road, but that leads to the second point. The Brew Crew one, by all accounts, went over really well. It's probably one of the most praised ones, both nationally and within the state. How many people do you see wear one of those jerseys? I liked it. And I'm a little more skeptical on the City Connects because it's getting away from your core identity. I like it. And I thought, it says Brewers without being a clone. It's like an alternate reality Milwaukee Brewers.
Have you heard anybody about the issues with the coloring of it?
A little bit.
Because, like, let's say if it was the Brewers colors but the same day, would it be different?
I think a little bit. I think the Wisco's thing is probably what's going to get the most attention, but I see a little bit on the orange.
Yeah. Like, where's, because I'll tell you what it kind of reminds me of is like Bears colors. You know what I mean? Like the blue and orange. I know it's a lighter shade of blue, but still.
I didn't immediately think that, but the fact that you're saying that, there's got to be others. And remember, we're in an area that's, there's plenty of Bears, rivalry, but it's not as hot as
down there, especially.
Yeah. But that's going to matter a lot more because that's Milwaukee. It's right by Chicago. I think anytime you're getting away from the ultimate look of the team, that gets that's one of the biggest criticisms of the NBA city uniforms, that some of the uniforms don't look at all like the teams that are wearing them, which I know that's sometimes the point of, like, we're representing the city, and the city, a given city might be associated with a different color. Milwaukee has the advantage of having that unofficial city flag that has, like, the Brewers colors already in it, so it works. So, I think it'll be fine. It's not like it's like green and purple or some odd brown and black, or something where you're like, what are you doing with this? I guess we'll see if when it actually gets unveiled, how it gets rolled out. But I don't think you can top the other ones. I think anything would have been secondary to what they wore the last 3 years.
Right.
I think that's a big part of the reason why they're now wearing powder blue on the road, because they knew that it's a popular color, but they weren't going to take Brew Crew and make that an official jersey. They could have, but then they would have, the 4x4+1 rule, but we've talked about that before.
All right.
So we'll see, but so far it doesn't. Let's assess later on when it's on the field. That's one of the biggest tests.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, like the Blue Jays ones. They looked really cool when you saw them up close, and then on the field you're like, this is a big blob of black. It doesn't look good when you're actually playing the game.
Right. All right, we got plenty more coming your way, and then we'll get to the winner for the Kirby Puckett card here too. So we'll tell you who that is. We'll tell you the answer, then who wins, coming up after these few words. All right, so let's hand this card out, shall we? With Kirby Puckett. Big again, huge thanks to Paul for doing this for every Wednesday. But 1991 score, Kirby Puckett, PSA graded 9 card here. The trivia question was, we know who's all-time leader in Twins history for home runs. That's Harmon Killebrew. Who's number 2? Who was your guess? Because you are a Twins fan.
A Twins fan.
Yep.
Long time. I'm squarely in the, what would this be, the 96% of Twins fans that are not optimistic for this year? I'm probably wrong in this, and I'm sure I've seen it before and I've forgotten. I'll say Kent Hrbek.
You are right.
Yes.
Nice. Kent Hrbek. So Harmon had 559. Kent is second with 293.
Herbie.
Yep. So Bob Allison's third at 256, and then Justin Bordeaux 221. So that's your top 4. And then Tony Oliva is at 220. So.
See, if Jim Tomei had been a Twin longer, he would be way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, Tomei came to mind really fast. I'm like, yeah, hang on, Luke. He was at the end of his career. Just he had a memorable home run moment as a Twin. Yep, Hrbek was quite the home run hitter, and he a long-time Twin. So, okay, cool.
So, any idea where Kirby Puckett is? Just give me a number, like, on the list. Not home run numbers.
He wasn't much of a home run hitter, but he had his fair share. He wasn't like a for-average guy either. I'm going to say 9th.
Close, 7th.
Okay.
So 7th at 207. 8 Twins players have 200 or more. Gary Gaetti, number 8.
Yes.
And then Torrey Hunter is at 6.
Okay.
So I put all of you who got it correct, put you in a random thing like we do, the randomizer, I call it. And it looks like a Brandon from Nauber. You are the winner. So, Brandon, hit me up with a text back with where we can send this to, or if you want to pick it up at the station.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And from the year that it ended in the World Series title.
Yep.
So that's a good one.
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
So, since we were talking a little bit jerseys with the Brewers and such, I did see some rumblings and maybe some connections and conspiracy theories, if you will, because the Packers are supposed to have a rivalry jersey this year.
Yes.
And,
dun, dun, dun.
And if you go daily or every other day like I do on Packers Pro Shop, you might have noticed that they've got new helmets, a full-size replica and the mini one available to buy. It's a new one. It's a cream-colored one with a retro logo on each side. Well, it's the old logo with like the Wisconsin logo in the background, kind of the Heisman pose football player in the front, and on the other side,
goes way back.
Yeah, it's got the Packers scripted on there, which has some people wondering, is that the rivalry helmets logo?
Now, the more that I think about this, now I'm thinking it's not, because they wouldn't roll out a rivalries helmet right now. Like there are plans for all the sports, all the leagues, I should say. They have their plans. Like if this were a genuine, okay.
Now they kind of did it last year with that leather helmet, though, didn't they?
That's true. But if I recall, last year the NFL had like all the rivalries uniforms come out at once. This was a plan, and then they held off on it also until like right around the season. It's not like now with like, gosh, I almost called them the Oilers, Freudian slip. Titans a couple weeks or 3 weeks ago, and now the Falcons tomorrow. Commanders in 2 weeks. Like you get the new uniforms from next year coming out now. The rivalries ones, I think they want to save so they can get their own attention in real time. I'd be odd that the Packers go right out and say, yeah, but we're going to show you the helmet here and without any like storytelling, hype video, anything. It shows up at the end of March. That seems odd for something that's going to get even as a one-game per season alternate, it's still going to get a lot of attention. So, as much as, again, subjectively speaking, because it's art, it's aesthetics, I like it. I don't know if that's going to be it. But on the other hand, that one guy that has like an inside source and it revealed a fair amount of info about what we're going to see, and it's been proven largely correct. Even this one guy that he's been cited on the Chris Creamer board, the sportslogos.net board, and he'll change stuff based on what he sees as time goes along. He said green. We saw that. Mm-hmm. You and I saw that here in the studio, that it was green was going to be the baseline color. We also know that the rivalry's uniforms so far, the 8 that came out, all broadly stuck with the team colors. Alternate versions of the colors, but it was the team colors. Unlike the NBA cities and the MLB City Connects, where sometimes you'd get a completely new color scheme. Mm-hmm. NFL is largely sticking to that. I think some of that has to do with, it's a combination of the shield, the whole Roger Goodell branding thing, but also there's 17 games in a season. Any given game is going to stand out more, so you don't want to have something look completely different. Percentage-wise, it's bigger, whereas, and I know some NBA and MLB teams where their city ones all the time and they look totally different. But I think there's an intention in the NFL of, we got to keep the fundamental look here because we don't have that many games. Mm-hmm. So green makes sense. They're not going to do, trying to come up with like silver and brown. Like, what would be something that wouldn't clash with a rival and also wouldn't be the Packers? Like, that's probably no. They're going to be green and gold, but it might be, well, gosh, the 90s forest green and old gold when they were trying to do the New Orleans Saint or the Notre Dame New Orleans Saints kind of thing. I mean, maybe that's ultimately where they landed. I'm not saying that they're going to try to do like we're doing the uniform that we almost did. No, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the end result unintentionally or largely unintentionally. What do you want to see ultimately now that we've gone? Like, we bounced the cheese. You had the cheesehead theory for the
I think it's still a cheesehead thing because, I mean, they own the licensing and they own that thing. I feel, and did Ed Policy make a comment about when it's like something Packers theme, when you think about Packers, this is what you think of sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's got to be something like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the thing that.
And it just makes it, I feel like you could make that helmet yellow and then just make like circles so it looks like a cheesehead.
Yeah. It'd be easy enough to do.
It might look corny as all hell, but
right.
It would. Yeah.
It would get attention. And I don't think they ultimately do go that route, but something other than.
It ain't going to be beer.
No. And it's not going to be deer hunting, blaze orange for a pretty big reason.
Yep.
You don't look like the Bears.
Right.
So like every team tries to be all serious with their uniforms. It'd be kind of funny if the Packers like, you know what? We got cheese.
Maybe it's just a face of Lombardi.
Oh, gosh. Why do I keep thinking of that Golden Gopher alternate helmet with the really big Goldie on you know the one I'm talking about?
Yep.
I don't know if that's the best look. That would be funny as heck.
Let's get a picture of just Ray Nitschke.
Oh, my. On the front.
Yes. Yeah.
With like the snarl.
Yep.
And everyone. Oh, boy.
Exactly.
I trust they're going to end up doing the right thing for, again, it's a one-off. And it's a one-off they're going to wear for a few years, but it's one time. They're not going to wear it for like 5 times. They're not going to wear it as much as their winter warning uniforms.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. We got to take a quick break. Oh, it's okay. April Fools.
I know. Okay. Have you been fooled today?
I just did for a hot second.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Since we were just talking about that, the Browns literally I guess it was 52 minutes ago, but I don't follow the Browns. Somebody retweeted it. A new era introducing Origins with their helmet. It's like, what? April Fools. April Fools.
Yes. I've already been fooled today. Yep. Happened really fast. I didn't have time to think about it, and it was a good one.
Yeah. All right, quick break. Speaking of April Fools, final call for who have you been fooled by in the sports world? Player, team, picks, trades, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Somebody threw out Herschel Walker, so you're the other side of that.
There you go.
but plenty of those to get to. Final call for those. Send those on over 715-830-1912. Quick break. We'll be right back after these few words. With it being April Fools, who have you been fooled by and such? Team-wise, players, all that stuff. Maybe if you're a Twins fan like Luke, you've been fooled a lot. Vikings fan like Luke, you've been fooled a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that, but at least you're not fooled probably by, hey, maybe on a positive side, the Twins make the playoffs, you'd be fooled this year, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
That way.
I could be pleasantly fooled.
Yeah, but you saw what poll was it The Athletic about enthusiasm for the fan base, and the last place team was the Twins.
Yeah, it's like, what, the average was 62% or something, and most fan bases, I'd say like 2/3 were about that or higher. Mm-hmm. Then there's a few that dwindle down to the 50s, 40s, 30s, and then maybe the upper 20s, and then there's a cliff. The bottom two are the Angels at like 5-ish%, and the Twins were last at 4-ish%.
Yeah.
Which I understand Angels fans are just like, what? Yeah.
If it didn't work with Trout and Ohtani when Trout was healthy, why is it going to work now?
Yeah, nothing's going on. And Arte Moreno, it's kind of, with the exception of the superstar aspect, it's kind of like the Twins. Like, they got an owner who's like, nope, I'm keeping the team. And the owner screwed up over and over, like, great. So we have no hope now.
Yeah.
Though they have the Ohtani thing of like, oh, watch what's going on a few miles away to the northwest. Whereas Twins fans are just, well, we litigated that plenty.
Yep.
Yeah. And, no, I'm with them. I don't know how much of that poll also was that. Well, was it scientific or an opt-in one?
I think it was. It had to be like an opt-in because I mean, Yankees fans were like at 60%.
Yeah,
it's like really.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, if you actually did a poll,
White Sox fans were like 60-some too.
I know they were like. I guess they're bounding back from the bottom, so there's reason for hope.
Yeah.
Like once, like. I'll bet if the poll ads suddenly turned around and did say they were going to sell, and you did that poll, let's say that happened next month, and you redid the poll, Twins fans' optimism would probably skyrocket to like 70% overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it. It's the poll ads.
Mm-hmm.
It's the poll ads, the poll ads, the poll ads.
I mean, early impressions as we are about a week in on your, kind of going where you thought things were going. I mean, your manager's already been ejected arguing against robots. And,
we already had a rage ABS challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's early, so you're going to get weird stuff. I guess the Twins actually have a pretty decent success rate so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fair enough. That's not going to get the headlines, but that's true. They're not going to go, like, I had this feeling they were going to somehow end up challenging the 88 Orioles for like worst losing streak to start a season. No, that's not going to happen. I mean, they might end up 1-30 at a certain point. Not going to go 0-30. Yeah, there's not much to write home about. Bullpen might have its moments, but for the most part, they suck. Sorry, they do.
All right.
We'll wait for the prospects to start making their way up from. I mean, from St. Paul. The Saints look more exciting right now than the Twins. And that's the future of the Twins, and hopefully they pan out. But right now, you'd rather watch a Saints game than a Twins
Speaking
game.
of the future and such, we've now seen, I'm waiting for who's the next AAA player to sign a massive contract because we need another one. Cooper Pratt a couple days ago, and then the Mariners shortstop, who's
Colton.
or Emerson.
Or Emerson, right.
Yeah.
Colt Emerson.
Yeah,
yes.
Emerson signing that deal. Obviously, Jackson Chourio did this a couple years ago. We've seen other teams do this, but do you think and the Mariners, I think, are a unique one, too, because, I mean, they're a common pick to go to the World Series this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, then they do this. I don't know if I want to use the word trend, but can we see more teams with the uncertainty of what's going to be happening with this labor negotiation such? I mean, I think Jeff Passan kind of worded it in terms of maybe more teams trying to lock in their players. It's a risk, but locking in players during their prime and getting this budget thing. Now, I don't see teams like maybe the Dodgers doing this or the Mets where they can afford to potentially do this, where they can afford to take on the risk probably, but two, do they really need to do this when they can already shell out money for proven talents?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but could we see more teams starting to do something like this?
If they have the talent at the younger end, probably. Do any of these guys, I forget, any of them have Scott Boras?
Cooper Pratt did.
It's a little surprising on
Yeah.
that one. I think you might. I guess it's a question of how much do the owners have faith that the economic balance will be bettered with the next labor agreement. If you think it's going to be, then you don't necessarily have to worry about it. On the other hand, it's a pretty decent futures bet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're signing them to a long-term deal, but you're also not spending as much money. You get in early, so you may end up wasting if they're a dud. But if it works out, man, you got them for a pretty good deal. And baseball does not have the climate of the NBA of a couple years into the contract, they're just like, no, I'm out. Sorry, trade me. And the player has all the leverage, even with a contract. That doesn't really happen in baseball. I suppose it could at any given moment if players start doing that and they're sitting out games and suddenly focusing on their load management or something. It could happen. I don't think it will. But it probably has to do with that. Like, do the Pirates have a guy coming up? Do the Reds have a guy coming up?
Well, the Pirates have that really good prospect.
Who was?
He was raking
blanking on the name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. In exhibition baseball,
Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do something like that? If the Pirates do something,
if they didn't do it with Paul Skeens,
no. But I wonder if with Skeens it was so obvious he was going to be good, and maybe Boras.
And I think that's the line for some of these players. You know, do we get to a point where some players that are going to take the security, or are they going to be like, no, I'm going to bet on myself? You're going to have to wait a few years, probably.
Yeah. I think it like there's a certain area, with the exception of. Do we want to call him a unicorn? I don't know quite yet. But Paul Skeens seemed to be such a sure bet.
Right.
That.
Let's say Ken Griffey Jr. is coming out again.
Yeah.
Is he going to do that?
Probably not. Where you go, okay, they're going to be a big star. The agents probably say, no, we're not going to do that. Come on. We know they're going to get a big contract in a few years. Unless there's a surprise blowing out their arm. No, everything is confirmed. So the team could try, but especially if Boras is the agent.
Mizorowski might be that example for the Brewers, right?
Potentially, but we're not quite sure. Like, we had the little bit of the roller coaster in the opening game. Like, literally at the first inning, you're like, oh, no! And then it turned out he had a great game. So do you want to do a long-term deal with him or not? So I think...
Pitchers are the weird ones a little bit.
Because,
even though Brewers did do it with Freddie, it worked,
but not always.
Aaron Ashby is another example.
You're probably going to see it more with the position players, but the younger position players. Again, like guys who have not played Major League Baseball or maybe just a handful of games. They're still young enough where there's a little bit more risk on the team's part. Once they establish themselves a bit more at the Major League level, then if they show it's not like a 3-game fluke, if they do it for a whole year, I think you're out. And then... Sorry, you're going to have to try to afford them down the road, or you're going to have to trade them if you're a smaller market / lower revenue franchise. But it makes sense, right? With Pratt, maybe with Griffin if the Pirates end up doing that. But I think it's got to be those like, oh, wow, you're doing it with this player and they haven't really done anything. Be curious, though, with the next labor agreement. I have no idea what that. None of us know if that's still going to make sense. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can. Maybe they can sign him up, lock him up longer. We'll see what that all is. But for now, yeah, I think you'll see more of it with players that the diehards know about and casual baseball fans are like, who's Cooper Pratt? I'm sure there's a lot of Brewers fans, more casual Brewers fans, who've never heard of Cooper Pratt.
Right. And
now you know because of the contract.
Right. Well, and then, he kind of got lost in the shuffle because of all the infielders that, the Brewers have now with Jet Williams and Jesus and all that stuff, too. So.
They've got a lot of young stars, period, that, there's another one out there? Well, he'll presumably show his worth. But for the Brewers, I think given their economic situation, it's worth it. It's like, I don't want to say taking a flyer because that sounds a little too casual, but it's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then we got to do some picks. We got baseball games to get to here, and we got some hoops games if any hoops fans are still paying attention. If you're a Timberwolves fan, you still got something to root for, I guess. So, all right, final break, and we'll be right back after these quick words. All right, wrapping it up here on this Wednesday morning, making the turn Wednesday. Let's get to some picks, by the way. How was your bracket? You didn't do a bracket.
I didn't do one this year,
yeah.
I just sat out this year.
Good, because I've got all my Final Fours alive, so.
Nice.
Don't matter if neither one of them win this weekend, though, so. Yeah. I need UConn and Arizona to win.
Okay,
so,
noted.
Hey, I got some crap for picking Illinois in the Final Four. Doesn't have crap now?
That makes what? I will say it's kind of nice to not do a bracket because then you can just like.
That's how I feel about fantasy football.
Yeah, you can actually root for what you want to root for and not have some other thing that's interfering. Yep. I'll be back to a bracket, I'm sure, next year, but it is kind of nice.
That's where I'm at with fantasy football.
Yeah, it's okay.
So maybe that's what I should do for the draft. With no Packers first round pick. Nah, that ain't.
No.
So, let's do some NBA games here. We got Philly taking on the Wizards.
The Wiz. I'll take Philadelphia.
Atlanta and Orlando.
What a situation. I'll take. You know what? Orlando gets the upset there.
I'm gonna go Hawks.
They're white hot, but still.
Boston, Miami.
Boston.
Yep, Celtics. Knickerbockers and the Grizzlies.
I'll take the Knicks.
Kings, Toronto.
I'll go with Toronto.
Yeah, Raptors. Pacers, Bulls. Somebody's got to win.
Sorry. Let's go with Indiana. Why not?
Let's go Bulls. You need to win, and the Bucks need to lose right now. And the Bucks, I'm not even going to say it for last anymore. Bucks and Rockets.
We care. Houston.
Yeah, Rockets. Denver, Utah.
I'll go with Denver.
And then Spurs, Warriors.
The Spurs.
Baseball, we've got the A's taking on the Braves.
I'll go with the Athletics.
I'll go Braves. Let's go Rangers, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yep, Baltimore. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Paul Skeens is on about.
Skeens of the rebound, I'll say. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yep, Pittsburgh. Washington and Philly.
Philadelphia.
Did yesterday? I got to double check yesterday. Just hold on. Just hold on for a second. I know. Did he hold on? Joey Weaver went hitless. Oh, the streak stops.
It's over.
All right. Never mind. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Who was it? Washington. Yeah, Philly. Colorado and Toronto.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, Blue Jays. Let's go Chicago and Miami.
Which Chicago?
White Sox.
I'll go Chi Sox in that.
I'll go Miami.
Just for the fun of it. They'll probably lose.
Let's go Mets and Cardinals.
Mets.
Freddie Peralta's on the mound today. Tampa Bay. Nope, save that. Boston, Houston.
I'll go Astros.
I'm going to go Boston. Garrett Grosjet's on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
Angels, Cubbies.
Cubs.
Tigers, Diamondbacks, Tariq versus Zach.
Wow. I'll take the Tigers.
I'll go Tigers, too. Yankees, Mariners.
Wow. I'll go Yankees off to a great start. I'll take New York.
I'm going to go Mariners for this one. Giants, Padres.
I'll take the Gigantes. What'd you think of those Gigantes alternates?
Yeah, that's okay.
Like a kind of 80s throwback.
Not like a Wisco one. I'm going to go Padres for this one. Let's go Cleveland, Dodgers. Your Twins taking out the Royals. Joe Ryan's on the mound.
I think the Twins get this one.
All right. I'm going to go Mariners. Or not Mariners. Royals. Sorry. Cold medicine's now kicking in,
okay.
I think. And then the series finale, the Rays versus the Brewers. Drew Rasmussen versus Jacob Mizorowski.
I'll take the Brewers. I'm a little worried that Miz will have a not as good of a game, but I'll take Milwaukee.
I'm going to go Brewers, too, to win this series. And with that series, one more pick. Will umpire C.B. Bucknor blow or call somebody out for not touching first base over under a halftime in today's game?
I will take the under on that. I'm pretty sure that's one of those mistakes you're like, I will never, ever, 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 ever make that mistake again.
Like, I don't know if anybody watched the the replays of that, but the Kevin Nash and Pat Murphy smiling after they got it correct, like, did that really happen?
Like, you can't even really get that mad about this because it was so obviously going to be like, okay, come on.
Right. I just, like, what... you could look at the replay. He wasn't even looking at it. He was looking where the ball was going. He's not even looking at where Bowers is running. So it's like, wouldn't even if you were looking, would just the normal reaction be like, yeah, he touched it? Like, what causes... That reminds me of an awful call I probably made as umping bases in a beer league slow pitch softball tournament in Lublin, Wisconsin. That's what that reminded me of. I was like, oh, wow.
Like, what usually, if you screw something up because you're not entirely paying attention, it's because you default to what you typically would do in that situation. Typically, I think you'd call them, you wouldn't say, like, his foot was off the bag. That is quite the rare thing to happen.
Yeah, it is.
So why would you then be like, oh, sure, yeah, he didn't hit it? What? Be that like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The lineup card is out, by the way, just dropped for the Brewers. Turang, Contreras, play catcher, Yelich, Bowers, Mitchell, Frelick, Perkins in left, Hamilton, Ortiz, and The Miz. So,
okay.
Yep, that's your lineup.
We officially settled on The Miz as
I'm gonna go Miz Kid. Somebody said Miz Kid. I like the Miz Kid better.
Because what was the other one we were bouncing around last year? Something other than
I don't
Miz,
remember.
or maybe someone had a nickname that was better than The Miz, because I keep confusing it with the wrestler / MTV guy.
Yeah, I like Miz Kid, so I'm trying to train myself to say Miz Kid. So
that's a it's a play on Whiz Kids and something unique.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Prefer unique nicknames.
Right. I agree. So.
Did you see any NBC baseball, by the way? Yeah, I like it from the little bit that I've seen. Of course, when you have Jason Benetti is your main play-by-play guy. I know they have other, but solid. It's NBC. You know you're going to get a good product with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. Did you see the Netflix one?
A little bit. I know a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah, they thought
I didn't watch
Netflix-y.
it enough. Yeah, I didn't watch it enough to get an opinion because it's on in the background. So
same. I'd watched it just a touch. I'd have to watch a full game, but it kind of doesn't matter as